Hello, I'm Heathen13, and this is Grand Arena Championships, Season 7, Week 4, Round 2. This is the last week of this season's Grand Arena Championships, and you might have noticed that I did not post a video for my first opponent. So let me tell you what happened and why that is. I lost. My opponent was named Elixir, and I didn't not do a video because I lost. I didn't do the video because I somehow forgot to set my defense. So instead, the game auto-assigned defenses for me. Now this was a shock for me. I invest quite a bit of time in researching my opponent beforehand. I make a spreadsheet, I figure out what their roster looks like, as well as what their tendencies are from their GAC history. And I was fully prepared for this opponent, and somehow I just never followed through to actually set the defenses in the game. So let me show you what my auto defenses look like and how he did, and then what I was up against. He didn't actually even attack my top squad, and he failed once against my CLS, but my Padme-led mess went down. The team that was led with Shock T actually got a hold, and he cleared these other two squads. He never even got to the ships. What he set for me was a Darth Revan squad, a crew team, and I was able to get the crew team out after 5 attempts. He set a Jedi Knight Revan. I was able to take my Nest to solo the Ewoks and my troopers to beat his Bosk. In the end, though, it was a futile attempt. Maybe I would have had a chance if he wouldn't have set a Revan on each zone, but he did, and so it's a frustrating loss. I was 9-0 going into that match, and rather than a potential perfect GAC of 12-0, I get a terrible, terrible loss. So that one is on me 100%, and let's see who I'm going to face this time. In round 2, I am matched up against the Dragon Knights, and since we spent some time talking about that first failed match in this video, we'll keep this short, but let's look at how we match up. You can see I have the majority of the green on my side. All of the offensive, defensive, undersize, defense, clears are all heavily in my favor. When we look at our rosters, you will see that things are a little more even. He actually has a slight advantage on character GP. We're even on Zetas. He has a slight advantage on gear, both 13 and gear 12 characters. I have a pretty significant advantage in mods and on the speed, but he does out-relic me by a little bit. So let's look at the board and see what's happened so far. You can see he has already attacked and cleared 3 of my 4 zones. He one-shot my top zone, a crew, a Newt, and a Night Sister team. Going to the bottom, he was able to one-shot my Padme team, but he did drop a battle against my Shock T clones. And in the back, he was able to clear my Grievous team in one shot, and I had Ewoks with Wampa in there for a one-shot as well. But he was unable to clear my Negotiator squad, and I had a feeling that if I put my Negotiator back there, he would struggle, because he does not have a Negotiator squad himself, nor does he have the Millennium Falcon. So he runs a Thrawn-led kind of hodgepodge with Houndstooth as his arena squad. So I was thinking that if I could put Negotiator back there, that he might stumble, and he did. So that really opens up the possibilities for me on the offensive side. Let's see what I'm up against. In the top zone, he left me his Geo squad, a Bosk Bounty Hunters, and a Karth team with T3. Going down to the bottom, he left me his Darth Revan squad, which is his arena team, and a crew. So his Darth Revan squad is definitely his best, but my Darth Revan and my Bastila are both faster than his, so I'm not really worried about that, and that's where we're going to start. So I will go ahead and take in my arena team. And I find that when I do these matches in arena every day, As long as I'm faster, I will win basically 100% of the time. I'll get them all feared and throw my grenade to take a lot of them down health-wise. Deathmark ends up sticking on Revan at this point, so I gotta take him out. And there goes HK and Bastila. And then it's just a matter of how long does it take me to clean up Malik, and in this case, not very long. So 59 manners, great start. I'm gonna go ahead and take out this crew team next so we can open up the back. I'm expecting for there to be his Grievous squad and Night Sisters in the back. So I'm trying to be conservative up front. Other than that, Revan, that was really the only team, my Revan squad's the only team I had to take out his. But I'm going to take my JTR squad against crew. Good matchup for me, even though my JTR team is not particularly great, because I want to conserve my better teams for the back. So I'm going to start off on Officer so he doesn't feed a bunch of turn meter to them. I waved crew so he wouldn't stun anybody. And then I'm going to go for TIE Pilot. He had a little bit less health than the First Order Executioner. I'm going to go ahead and stun crew just to keep him in check. And the First Order TIE Pilot's taken longer to get down than I expected him to. And unfortunately we got stunned there by OG Kylo. So I'll wave him off this time. So both the Kylos are put in timeout, and there goes the TIE Pilot. Now it's time for Executioner. You can see I'm only one turn away from Illuminated Destiny. So I go ahead and just do a regular attack on BB-8. And Scavray gets out Fox. There goes Illuminated Destiny. And so I'm going to start working on Kylo Unmasked. And with all the buffs on all these guys, this team goes down pretty fast. I'm able to get another stun off. Here I'm just looking around seeing who can I get everybody back to full health and full protection. So I'm gonna do some basics, try and stall, heal up with Finn, more basics, and there we go. One more Illuminated Destiny. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and take him out. I think I'm only going to get a 59 on this banner, because it seems to me like Resistance Trooper has a little sliver of resistance, of protection rather, that he is missing. But I decide I'm not going to wait. That 59 would be fine. But turns out I got all 60. So that's fantastic. With the front taken out, we'll go ahead and open up the back to see what they are, and instead of Grievous and Night Sisters, I get Ewoks and a bad Phoenix. So at this point, I'd already gotten a 59 and a 60. I decide I have so much left for offense with so few teams that need it. I decide I'm gonna go ahead and start going undersized and just mix and match, pick my best squads, try and maximize banners, wash that bad taste of my auto defense loss in round 1. His geos are fine, kind of normally modded with a Relic 4 Brood. So I go ahead and take my Treya in there with Thrawn, since I decided I didn't need Thrawn for anything else. And we'll just have Scion soak up as much damage as we can. I fractured the Brute and then had Isolate come up right after that. So he's got both of those on there, but at least I know he won't be taunting anytime soon. And then it's just a matter of taking him out. I already have Annihilate off, so I'm going to get the Brood out of there. And Scion actually got a lot closer to dying than I thought he would. Thankfully got Held by Hatred up right before Spy got his big hit. And thanks to Thrawn passing his turn meter around and healing up protection, and the fact that I was able to go in one short. I was able to get a 59. So against bugs, that is a great result for me. Next, we've got our Bosk team here. And again, I had planned on having to fight through a well-reliced Grievous team and a pretty decent Night Sisters team, and I don't need to. So I've got lots of options. I'm going to take my preferred counter of Geos here against his bounty hunters, and Greedo is by far the squishiest on his squad, so I'm going to go after him first, and was able to get him down. Now, for some reason, I targeted Dengar. I don't know why I did. I did a couple attacks against Dengar for no good reason. Thankfully, Poggle came in and dispelled Bosk's buff, and then I realized, you know, I should be taking Django out at this point. So, switch over to him. We'll get him out once and twice. Move on to Boba. And there goes the thermals for Dengar. I really hate Dengar on that fact that he can do that. Always stealing banners. At this point, I'm just trying to time it out so that I use my heal at the right time to try and maximize my health and protection on all my Geos to get as high a score as possible. If you can time it out well, then it's usually a 60. So with just Dengar left, I'm thinking about it and I decide now is the time. And Dengar proves to be surprisingly resilient. It took me quite a few more turns to get him down than I thought. And at this point, I'm wondering, will I get yet another heal off? But Spy gets a big hit, reduces him quite a bit, and there he goes. And I'm able to pull 60 again. So I love that counter. Definitely my favorite current counter against bounty hunters. And that just leaves me with the cart team, and I'm gonna go ahead and take CLS, and we don't need old men for this. So just the trio coming in. And Han is gonna go ahead and take out Karth here with the beginning volley. So he's gone. And we're gonna go ahead and use CLS to get rid of this taunt on Zalbar so I can switch over and try and take out Mission. So she's gone. Candace is up next. Oh, actually T3 decides to go, and Candace is next because he had just gone. Word T3 might do some shenanigans. And then even Zalbar melts away. So 62 with the CLS team. I'm getting a lot of good banners here. And looking at his ships there, it looks like he's got his Tarkin in the back, which is what I expected. So now let's drop down to our Ewoks. And if you watched my videos before, you know it's going to be solo nest. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on fast forward because you've seen it before. I just put it on auto, and I do monitor it usually, and you see me clicking over on Elder just to make sure he goes as early as possible. But in the end, it's a quick and easy battle. 63 banners. This GAC is shaping up definitely in my favor. I've just got Phoenix left, and I had saved my Jedi Knight Revan as a Grievous counter. So I'm going to take him and Grandmaster Yoda. I'm deciding if I want to just take the two, and I decide I'm not going to risk it. So then I decide, am I going to take Bastila or Jolie? I finally decide Bastila is enough. I never want to underestimate Phoenix like I have so many times in the past. And because my last time I underestimated him, it was Zeb who killed off my nest, I decided I'm going to kill Zeb first. So between these three, they're definitely way overpowered compared to this Phoenix squad I'm against. You can see that throw killed another one. And there goes Kanan, and finally Sabine. And another 62 banners. So the banners have been flowing in this GAC for me. It's felt really good. after totally screwing up my round 1 match. And in the back here, it is his Tarkin with the Geos, exactly what I expected him to set. And I saved my Millennium Falcon team with my Houndstooth. Usually if I'm gonna put my Negotiator on defense, I'm gonna save my Houndstooth for my offense. And I only do that if I really believe that he's not putting Negotiator. In this case, my opponent didn't even have it. So I decided to go in 1 light just to pick up some more banners. And his Geonosians were not terrible, but they weren't particularly good either. I was pretty confident that this match shouldn't take that long or be that hard. So you can see the Falcon took out one of them. They beat up on Biggs a little bit. I decide I'm going to take in the Ghost, and rather than target lock, I'll just take him out. I'm only left with Soldier left, and there he goes. So a really quick match, 66 banners for that. This Grand Arena Championship definitely was fruitful for me. You can see a 1944. That is by far my best score ever. So after having the biggest brain cramp ever and not setting defenses in round 1, I've come back to get my best score ever in round 2. We just have the 1 round left for this GAC. I'm hoping to go 11-1. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.